Hello, before the video begins, I want to, preference these possible trigger warnings here. There will be mentions of child abuse, pedophilia, child neglect, child abuse, suicide mentions, and possibly a whole lot of possibly triggering content. And I do want to let you know before you guys watch the video. If you guys feel like you can't, for whatever reason, cannot handle any of the subject matter that is going to be discussed today, I'd advise you to click off this video and go watch, like, maybe one of my live streams or something. Like, go watch something that's a little bit more suitable, I guess I should say. I don't know. But I will link some videos here in this throughout this video and stuff for you guys to watch other than this one if you guys can't handle this one. And with that being said, if you guys are comfortable with proceeding, let's get right into my anime backstory, I guess. Alright guys, hello, welcome back to another, video by me. Don't mind the AC going off in the background, by the way, but, I guess this is gonna be the video, I promised a lot of people in particular. Well, not a lot of people, but, like, maybe just, like, one or two people that are, interested in hearing about my life story. Alright, I guess to get this, disclaimers out of the way, I want to say that I want to, for the most part, leave everyone anonymous, so I will not be saying anybody's names other than my father's name because, well, he's a sex offender and a pedophile, so, you know, he definitely does deserve to be exposed. And if, in the case I were to get any more information on him, I will definitely, let you guys know in a comment or description, just so you guys, are aware for, my viewers that are in the United States or whatever. But in general, I want him to very much be on the spotlight to be exposed. And I don't give a rat's ass about what my family thinks about that. I think that's just how all people like that should be. They should be exposed to the fullest extent. Now, with that little disclaimer out of the way, as I said before, I will not be mentioning anyone's names, and I feel like that's really all I have to really say. So I guess let's get started with, my early life as a kid. Alright, this is my early life as a kid. And, one last thing. I'm not going to mention my real name anyway either. It's just going to be with my alias. So, I think when my mom was 19, 20, around that age range, she must have gave birth to me. And obviously I don't really remember all that much about my life as a young boy. But I do remember a few things, like nearly being drowned in the toilet by my older brother. Yeah, that was kind of embarrassing to share, but, I'm pretty sure we've all had that moment where, the second sibling or whatever, the newest sibling would always get trashed upon by, the older sibling because the older sibling is jealous of, the new sibling and their attention they're getting. But, yeah, there's that. And, my brother did a whole lot of very weird shit. Like, he ate cat poop. I'm not sure how true this stuff is, but he did that, and then he drank alcohol on accident. Yep, just some random obscure facts I guess I'm throwing out there, or at least supposedly they are. I heard this stuff a lot while I was growing up, and like I said, I'm not sure how true it is, but there it is, so it's out there. Yeah, so basically to start it off, I am the second oldest to my family. But I guess in terms of mentality, I feel like I'm definitely like the oldest and most mature and most level-headed and most, morally just. I don't know. My morals are pretty good compared to the others. I'm not trying to make myself sound like a narcissist or anything. I'm not trying to make it sound like I'm perfect or anything and I don't have my own set of issues. I know that. That's why I'm in therapy, and that's why I'm trying to better myself, for lack of better words, you know? It's been a 3 year hunt, and we have been unsuccessful. But anyway, yeah, I'm the second oldest to my family. I've had to look after my siblings. I guess I'll get started with my previous life with living with my father. Um, it was pretty bad, you know, seeing as how he was basically a child molester and stuff like that. Um, he was basically, yeah, he was basically a very bad dude. 100% a pretty bad dude, and he really wasn't, you know, a really good role model, I guess. And I guess it's important when you're raising a male baby or whatever for them to have like another man to kind of look up to. But I can't say I've ever had that figure. I would say the only person that I've fully relied upon all these years is mostly myself, to be honest. But yeah, because I would often get in the way of his attempts, if you guys can understand what I mean. He would beat both me and my older brother up. Mostly my older brother, but he would beat me up sometimes too. And I feel like that's probably the reason why I have so much rage inside of me. I feel like at least part of the reason. But yeah, he did a whole lot of that when we were growing up. And needless to say, it's left me pretty mentally scarred and stuff like that. It's left me with scars that really haven't been fixed. So, yeah, there's that. Let me try to. I guess I'm gonna try my best to remember because I don't really have a script or anything. I said I was gonna make one, but I just got a little bit too lazy, so I was just like, you know what? No script. We're just gonna do it like this. So my father, his name is James Curtis Phillips. I've been trying to look him up on a few sex offender registry sites or whatever, and I haven't been able to find much. I don't think. I've even looked him up on Google, looked his name up on Google, and I've been I've been just finding like I've been finding completely different people under his name and stuff, and yeah, that was just a bit weird, but you know how it is. There's a lot of people with that share the same name, you know. And yeah, I'm still doing research on that, but that is 100% his name. I looked at his papers while I was growing up, and that's kind of how I got his name down. And I also know my mom's name, but I won't be saying her name, like I said in the disclaimer before. But, nevertheless, life, I don't know, looking back on it, I guess it wasn't too bad. You know, I ate and stuff like that, but still, all of the yelling, you know, the whole beating into the ground thing wasn't really great, honestly. And I feel like I would have turned out so much better if, you know, I never received that. I mean, obviously, when you birth kids and stuff like that, you don't want to be having them go through abuse and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? But it's what I went through. And I think it came down, like I've saw a few times where my father and my mother would fight. And actually, before I get to that part, let me further elaborate on my relationship, well, not my relationship, but my father's relationship with my mom. So basically, spoilers, if in case you haven't guessed it already, my father was basically grooming my mom. And from my own mom's mouth, there is implications that they met while she was underage. While she was like 17, 16 or something like that. And my father was like in his 40s, 50s to even 60s when they met. So yeah, it's really fucked from the get-go pretty much. But yeah, it was pretty messed up from the very get-go. I know it was more normalized back then, but still, doesn't excuse how disgusting it is and how creepy it is. But nevertheless, I'm here and all this stuff, and that's also kind of the reason why I feel conflicted with my overall existence, but whatever. What's it called? I'm sorry, I'm getting kind of sidetracked here. But where was I? Yeah. Basically, they would have nights where they would fight, and there was even one time where they scolded me for walking in on them banging each other or whatever. God, that was just really, really gross. That was so gross. But yeah, there goes my innocence, I guess. But yeah, yeah, that was just really one of the disgusting moments in my life, definitely. And it's really extra disgusting now that I have the full context of the whole scenario between the two of them. And yeah, yeah, the relationship, to be honest, wasn't great from the beginning to end. Oh yeah, and I think that I would say the last time I saw my father was that one night where he was locked outside. He was locked outside. He was locked outside, I think, of our one apartment that I stayed with my mom and siblings in. He tried to break in, like he was knocking on the window, bashing on them, trying to break them, but eventually he did give up and he did leave. And that was the last night I saw my father, and I don't even remember how many years ago that was, but I think since from there on, I hardly remember his face. Like when I try to think of my father and try to imagine how he must have looked like back then, I can't really think of how he would look. It was just really weird, but yeah, he got kicked out and he stayed out. And then I guess I think this either happens months or years ahead, but we did go to the courthouse, and what happened was I think my older brother ended up basically testifying against him and stuff, and for all the abuse he did, and I'm pretty sure he got sent to prison for like a couple years, because you know how the legal system does pedophiles. Shit, if a pedophile gets caught raping like a little ass girl, they'll only get like 11 months in jail plus probation, when in reality these people deserve to get chopped up into little bit-sized pieces. Period. Like, I don't care. I do not care who it is, whether it be a male or a female, a woman or a man. You take advantage of a little kid, you deserve to get chopped into pieces. Period. In short, you deserve to die slowly and painfully. And I don't care what anyone has to say about this in the comments, but I wish, and I really do hope that's what happened to him. I hope he did die in the street somewhere or something, man. And one time, my mom asked me if I ever wanted him back in my life. Fuck no. Why would I ever want an abuser / a sex offender who, puts the absolute terror into my little sisters? Like, oh yeah, I also missed this part. But one time, I think every Wednesday, we had to go see him. Like, it was, I think it was visits with supervision or something. Yeah, we used to visit him. We used to have to visit him every Monday. And every single time my little sister was forced to come along, she would hide behind her brothers because that was just how scared of him she was. Like, she wouldn't even want to go near him. She would be hiding behind me or Demetrius or both of us. That's how terrified he left her. And he's like, oh, come here. And he's like, fuck no. Like, fuck no, man. I mean, my little sister, I don't think she's really that fearful anymore, but she does, like, you can tell, just like everybody else, it affected her pretty negatively. And, yeah. And after my father went to prison or whatever, and we didn't see him for a good couple years, I honestly thought it was over. My abusive father was behind bars, he was away, he couldn't hurt us anymore. All this good stuff, right? I thought it was done and dusted from there. But nope, it wasn't. Because little does my mom know, she very much endorsed in abuse/negligence herself. And I'll also start off with, I guess, this next story here. Um, it was one of those times where I guess we were quote unquote struggling. Honestly, I'm gonna put quotation marks over those words because I honestly, frankly, don't know how true the situation was now looking back on it. Because with all of the assets she had, we shouldn't have been ever able to run out of food. But guess what? We ran out of food. I mean, sure, it was like 5 or 4 kids because sometimes my little sister, because her father is I think the youngest of our family, sweetheart, she doesn't like she has a different father, so sometimes he'll come and pick her up and have her at his house for a couple months. That'll be a story for another time though. Okay, but getting back on topic, basically we ran out of food and we were stuck drinking, you know, those ketchup, you know, dips or whatever. We were stuck just eating dips and stuff in order to stay alive, and water. And even my little brother, he was forced to eat a cockroach because he was so hungry. And it low-key pisses me off whenever my family decide to make fun of him for it, or my mom is in denial about it, because like he was starving. Shit. Like, I would find it a little bit more weird / disgusting if he did this and, you know, he was eating and stuff, but we were starving. Like, I think another 2 more weeks with 2 more weeks, yeah, because I think in human biology, I think the human body can go, 3 weeks without any food before you die. And that's a slow and painful, torturous existence up until that point. So yeah, you know, I really can't say I blame him, and I don't really guilt him for it. I don't be like, yeah, you're disgusting, bro. Why did you eat that cockroach? Because I know exactly why he did it. Because we literally had nothing. We had nothing in the goddamn fridge. We had absolutely nothing. And you want to know the worst part? My mom didn't even look all that malnourished. She sure didn't. She did not look all that malnourished. She does not look all that weak like we were. She was looking fine. Her nails were done. She was looking pretty nice. And then she was glaring at us whenever we would ask her if she had any food. Like, she would act like we were being all up in her face. And could you blame us? We were starving, you know? But then, I guess, after a full week of having no food, she finally decided to go to a food bank to get food. And honestly, that took way too long. So Mom decided to be the asshole that she was. We all would have died under her fucking care from starvation or possibly dehydration because, like, I don't know, she could probably miss paying utilities and we could be without water. And for damn sure we would die very shortly then because I think, dang, I actually need to Google this real quick. I need to Google all this stuff sometime in the future, but I think the human body can last, 2 to 3 days without water. Yeah, I'm pretty sure dying of dehydration can kill you faster than starvation, but yeah. The fact of the matter is, we would have basically died if she hadn't taken any action to get us anything. So there's that. And then, because we were born as strict sort of Christians, you know, and I would definitely admit back then, when I was a small child, a teenager growing up, I was definitely the same sort of Christian boy you can probably imagine. I was homophobic, I was transphobic, I was all of the above back then, and I was fully dedicated to Christ back then. And I wasn't like this because, you know, I chose this myself. It was more because my mom and, you know, my overall influence. I was always told that, you know, trans people are the worst, you know, gay people are the worst, you know, they're all going to hell. I'm pretty sure the usual things. And yes, I will admit it myself to, you know, probably a lot of viewers of mine that are, LGBTQ plus, that are in the LGBTQ plus community. Yes, I was like that when I was a child, when I didn't know any better. But now that I'm an adult, I have definitely left those views behind. But getting back on topic, because we were in, this sort of religious sort of household, let's just say it was quite taboo for us to bring up stuff like suicide. I'm pretty sure everyone who's had that overly religious person would tell you, hey, if you commit suicide, if you kill yourself, well, you're going to hell. That's obviously the common belief, and I was told that a lot by my mom. I think whenever I would bring it up, like I asked her one time, what happens to people whenever they do that? And my mom would be like, well, they go to hell. They took their own lives, so they're going to hell automatically. And I was like, wow. And one time when I was 13 years old, I think that was the first time that I ever felt suicidal. And I told my older brother about it over text messages on Messenger. And my mom found out because he told her how I was feeling, and he let her see the messages. And what does my mom do? My perfectly rational mom would do? She grabs me and she tries to strangle me and kill me. Because she said that, if I killed myself, I would go to hell. But if she killed me, I guess I'd go to heaven or some bullshit. But yeah, that's the first time my mom tried to kill me. When I was only 13 years old and while I was feeling suicidal. Because she thought that instead of having a normal conversation about it, or maybe getting me into counseling or getting any kind of mental health professional, she decided that killing me was more worth the time and effort, and it would be costless because, I'd be dead, so there wouldn't be any need for it. So yeah, she tried to kill me that one time, didn't forget it, and I'm not sure why. Well, I am sure why I didn't just go ahead and just call the police that day. And that's because my mom had such a firm grip over, I guess, our core beliefs about the police and stuff. I guess as a black man, I was raised to always believe that, I'm not supposed to trust, the police nor white people, the kind of reverse racism you see out of some really dumb white people. Not white people, but black people. That are like, well, don't tell those white folks nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can see where this is going. Yeah, don't trust the white people. Yeah, I'm just so tired of hearing that shit over and over. But, not to get too off topic, but let's get back to the main subject. Yep, that was the first time my mom tried to kill me. I didn't know how to feel about it. I barely escaped death that time. And yeah, that was pretty traumatic in itself, but it gets better, because it always does, doesn't it? A couple years later, where at this point in our lives, I think it's important that I get this information out of the way before I get into the second time my mom tried to kill me. So basically, at this point in time, my mom, she basically got evicted out of her house, and supposedly, it was because they gave her such a high rent price that she couldn't afford, even with our combined income. I don't know the full, details of the situation, but basically, we got evicted, and we were moving kind of place to place, all over the place. And after we stopped living at Motel 6, we eventually found, this one place. We were basically living with her cousin, and I won't mention her name for obvious reasons, but yeah, we'll just refer to her as Mom's cousin. And we were living there for quite a few months, and it was actually pretty good over there. It was pretty chill, pretty quiet most of the time. It was nice when I was by myself there, with the Wi-Fi, It was really, really cool. And while my whole family was living there, basically what had happened was I think I got into a little argument over Zarion because he took my tablet or whatever, and I was like chasing him, and I was like, "Hey, give it back!" And it was usual bickering. This is my baby cousin. I felt really stupid for chasing him around like that, but it kind of devolved into something else because my mom pulled me aside and she thought I had hurt him, but I didn't really hurt him. I just kind of snatched the tablet out of his hands. That's all I really did. I kind of just took it from him. I was irritated, and that was really stupid of me to do looking back on it, but nevertheless, I snatched the tablet from him and say, "Hey, don't grab it again." And then my mom was like, "Yeah, come over here." And I thought she was going to discipline me like she typically would, but no. She pushed me down, and she tried to strangle me again, telling me how much of a bastard I was and I deserved to die. And, all that stuff. And this time, unlike the last time, she was close to killing me. But my older brother and little sister got her off of me, and I was able to survive that. And then after that, my older brother took me out of the house, and we kind of walked all the way to this park called Craig Park. It's located in North Las Vegas, and it was kind of my safe place when I was still living down there. But yeah, we did that. And then I think from that day, I absolutely resented her. I was just really upset with her for quite a long time, as anyone would, because she was telling me about how much of a bastard I was, saying that, whole usual, I brought you into this world and I'll take you out kind of thing. And that really fucking did a toll to my mental health. And it gotten so bad to the point where, whenever my mom would try to call me over, even just for food, I would just glare at her and then turn up my volume, my headphones, like if I was listening to music. I would turn up my headphones and not even want to listen to her. That's how badly it had gotten. And I think she realized that she was wrong, but she never apologized for it. She never said sorry. She never acknowledged what she did. Nothing. Because that's usually how big scenarios like this are treated in the household anyway. They're treated with, let's just sweep it under the rug as fast as possible. And to make this even more evident, I think on my birthday back in 2021, where I went to go visit my mom, my little brother, funny enough, actually brought up the time where he was forced to eat a cockroach, and she shut him down with, "Oh, well, we had hard times, but you weren't starving." And I just glared at her, and I was like, "Are you serious? We were starving. What the fuck are you talking about?" And I feel like that's the other thing, too. I used to give her the benefit of the doubt so many times. I used to be like, "Mom, don't beat yourself up. You're a good mom. You're doing your best. You shouldn't be so hard on yourself." And now I'm just regretting saying that to her, Because honestly, I think she even knew that she was a bad mother. And she was kind of calling herself out for it. But, aside from that, though, yeah, that went pretty well. And I'm pretty sure my mom kind of caught on to it, but, I kind of got over it with time, but I never could really trust her fully again like I used to. And even to this day, I don't think I would want to move in with her or anything like that. I don't even feel comfortable living under the same roof as her. I mean, if she hadn't mistreated me and I didn't figure out what was going on, I probably would still be 100% be her mama boy all the way to this day. But nope, no such luck. Because, that's basically what she did. She was just a really terrible person, a really terrible parent, and she caused a lot of mental/physical harm. Stuff that really can't be repaired, if I'm honest. But nevertheless, I feel like, and I guess it's great that, I don't have to deal with them anymore. Because I'm not even living under the same roof as them. I'm just kind of living elsewhere. So I guess that's great, I guess. And yeah, I think that's kind of the second part gotten out of the way. I don't know if I'm going to add chapters to this video. But, you know, I guess if you made it this far through my, my telling of my anime backstory, I would appreciate it if you left a like, possibly maybe even share it with your friends, because I'm trying to make sure this gets out to as many people as possible. And I'm also attempting to, attempting to get some extra support. So if you would like to support the channel in any kind of way, please donate to my Cash App. That should be linked in the description. I don't really do Patreon anymore. I felt like Cash App was a lot more efficient, so even if you just want to send me like 10 cents, I'll appreciate it, you know. But, you know, that's completely up to you. And with that shameless promo out of the way, I think I'm going to continue my life story, where I'm at right now, with 2022 and 2023. So, well, not 2022, I guess 2022, I guess. So, I think as 2020 went on, I got into high school. I was in high school for a little bit. That was kind of cool and stuff. And we were living under this man, this drunk guy. He started out to be pretty chill when we first met him when we left Bird's house, but over time he just became a lot worse of a person. And I think the drinking also didn't help, because he would drink a lot. When I say a lot, I mean a lot. Like, this dude, like he would go in his room just to drink. And there would always be empty beer cans around, and yeah, that just really wasn't good. And this dude really had a temper. Like, he would go out of his way to, like, put his hands on his own daughter type shit. That's how bad his rage was. And he one time tried to hit my little sister or whatever because she wouldn't bend over backwards for him. And I had to keep my little brother calm because he was just going through an anxiety attack. But really, as the older brother, I felt like I should have done something. And I do feel guilty about that. I feel like I should have done something in that moment, especially when a grown-ass man was over here literally about to hit my little sister over something so trivial. Like, hell no. It's the whole James situation all over again. It's instead of trying to molest my little sister, he just wanted to beat her up. And that was fucked up. Undoubtedly, but yeah. That was pretty bad, but you know, as usual with time, we were able to get out of that scenario, but it was a whole ass mess, especially for me, because when he kicked my older brother out, he was on to me next, and he was making me do all these chores. He was making me pull the weeds out from his fucking garden or whatever. He was making me and my little brother do it, and I think one day after seeing me struggle to do it with no food or anything, he just kicked me out. He just said flat out to get out. And so I felt fed up and I just left. And then I went to a terrible herbist place because that was the recommended course of action to take by my English teacher. Honestly, bless her soul. And I hope she's doing okay. I wish that I could still speak with her, but you know, she's busy doing her own things and overall has moved on from life, so you know, it is what it is. But nevertheless, I was taken into a youth homeless shelter for a time being, and it was actually really cool over there. I actually wish I could have stayed there. I could have stayed there until I was 20, when I was over there, rather than being over where I'm at right now. But yeah, I was only over there for a week before I had to come back, and that was honestly the worst, because when I did come back, like, the first thing they told me is that I was to stay in their garage and never leave. And basically they were keeping me as a prisoner, And I didn't at the time I didn't understand why they would want to just flat out get rid of me or even kill me. But now I know why. You want to know why? Money. That's the whole reason. That is the whole damned reason. And yeah, if in case nobody's noticed, I am actually on SSI. Like, I am disabled because, well, my mom is, and yeah, I'm basically on SSI, and that was their means of getting my money without me even knowing. So, and at this time, I didn't even know I was on SSI. They never told me. I had to figure that shit out for myself, but yeah, getting back to the whole kicking out. I was actually at a mental facility. I think I first got there March, I think the last day of March, and then yeah, I was there I think until April 11th, 2020, and then that's when I got dumped off at someone else's house. And I've been living at their house for over 3 years now, and I've been trying to move out, but I haven't had much luck because the only thing that's really making me feel reluctant about moving out is getting into the place and then the rent raising out of nowhere. That's really the only deterrent, so I'm trying to get onto Section 8 and stuff like that. I'm just trying to become fully independent, fully alone, basically to become a lone warrior, I suppose. And I don't know if I'm really handling this in the right way, but yeah. It's really hard, but you know, hopefully it'll get better over this year at least. With it being a new year, I hope the prices will actually drop for many of these places out here, and it'll also make it better for sure once they do drop. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna hold off on it for quite a bit, but it's still on the table as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, and I think that's my life story pretty much up to date. I didn't really get into all the finer details in this video, but I would say I got pretty personal in this video. So I hope you guys end up appreciating it, especially for you guys that like to inquire about my personal life and stuff. So here's that video for you guys. As far as channel updates, I haven't been on this channel that much, and that's just because of depression and stuff like that has been hindering my ability to upload. But that'll soon pick up soon, and I hope to also live stream for you guys too. I hope to also get that done too, because I do want to play on console with you guys. Like, I want to do open lobby stuff, and as soon as I get home and the video is done rendering or whatever, I'm probably gonna live stream on Twitch. I'm gonna do a open lobby live stream on Twitch, where if you are on mobile or whatever, I'll play Call of Duty Mobile with you or something, or maybe Apex, or maybe Dead by Daylight or something. You know, just something to please, you know, my mobile gaming audience at the moment, I guess, and to put some more content on Twitch, I guess, because I do want to be on there, I guess, too. I was like, fuck it, you know, why not? Okay, so there's that. And I think I might actually go on Reddit, and I might actually try to find some survival tips and basically read them out to you guys. Or if I can't find any, you know what? No, I'm probably going to re-upload those 2 Radio TTS videos that are my favorites, that are the survival tips. I'm probably going to end up re-uploading those videos because I have the links to them. So I'll re-upload them before, you know, they get taken down or whatever. So I'll be sure to do that. And of course, I'll be uploading this video as well. So I hope you guys appreciate the whole plethora of content coming. I'm working to do better, definitely, because I've been slacking these last couple days. And you know, I want to start 2023 off strong, I guess. And I just hope things will get better over time, you know. It's all we can really do. And yeah, I guess I I guess I'll add on this section for, I guess, my belief system now. I would say I am agnostic. I still do, I guess, believe in God. Like, I believe in there being a higher power. But I definitely would say I don't agree nor worship Christianity no more. No, I don't think I'll be going to church or none of that stuff anymore. The only time you'll see me at a church is if they're giving out free food, and that's it. I'm not going to be there to serve the Lord or whatever. I don't really agree with most of his rules anyway. Not everybody's worthy of forgiveness. People like Peter Scully definitely are not worthy of forgiveness. Not in any universe. Period. Or anyone like him. Anyone who brings harm to defenseless children, whether it be sexually or violently or anything like that, they are not worthy of forgiveness. They're not worthy of any of that shit. They just deserve to be cut into pieces or burnt alive. Whichever you would prefer. And I frankly don't care if I sound like an unpathetic... I don't care if I sound mean, basically, is what I'm getting at. I don't care. Pedophiles deserve the absolute worst, and that's it. And if there was one thing I could change about this legal system, it would be how pedophiles are treated. They should not get 5 months of prison time and then a little bit of probation, and then they're off the hook. They should get slain and burned. Because that's exactly what they are. Monsters, man. And to those mothers out there who have killed a pedophile that was messing with their children, you're my fucking hero. 100%. You're my hero. And nope, you didn't do anything wrong. You just took out the goddamn trash. Period. You're doing what the legal system could not, for whatever reason. Yeah. But anyway, I appreciate anyone who's stuck around for this long. I'm pretty sure there's going to be nobody, but for maybe even a one person out there, I thank you. I really appreciate it. I think this is probably one of the longest videos I've actually ever made, aside from the live streams, if you can count those. But this is like one of the longest videos I've ever had where I've sat down and fully talked about my life. It's pretty crazy. But, yeah, I hope nevertheless that you guys enjoy the content. And I hope you guys do well. I hope you guys are doing okay. Take care. Watch yourself, survivors. It's tough out there. And, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm fucking up over here with the outro, but, I hope you guys are doing okay. Hope you guys continue to stay safe. And, yeah. Watch yourself, survivor. It's tough out there.